Hello and welcome. I'm Ruby Barlow and you are watching the NXT Podium, where we bring you global voices to speak on pressing issues that impact their respective countries and the entire world. Joining me today is Mr. Stuart Smith, member of the New Zealand Parliament. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Smith. It was a pleasure to host you in Delhi at the NXT Summit earlier this year. The broader theme was what's next for humanity at large, and I'd like to begin our conversation on the same. Please talk to us about the work that you've been doing for your Kaikōura electorate in New Zealand.
Recently we had some flooding in the Kaikōura region when I spent quite a bit of time helping people to get assistance, to ensure they had the things they needed to get by, and I've visited some flood affected people along with the local mayor just to try and assess the situation. The problem we've had has been exacerbated by the earthquake 10 years ago, which has caused about 40 years of erosion in the hills to occur all at once, and that has exacerbated the damage from the flood.
You've been getting elected to represent Kaikōura for 4 consecutive terms. How has your electorate transformed under your leadership? Well, during that time, as I just mentioned, we had a significant earthquake in 2016, which had a significant natural transformation in its geographical features with a significant uplift. So I gained effectively a lot more coastline as it was uplifted by over 1.5 meters. So we had a significant rebuild during that period. During that time, we've also had a significant uplift in the agricultural exports. So we've had a significant change there, and a significant increase in tourism into the region, which will continue to grow. And the issue we had with the flooding last week had a little bit of an interruption to that with the highways being closed for a few days, but it's all open and back in action again, so it's really pleasing to see that. The population is growing and economic activity is growing, and it's fantastic to see that and to support my constituents through that change. How's your experience been as Chief Government Whip in the New Zealand House of Representatives? Well, being Chief Government Whip is a very interesting job. I am essentially the person that is in charge of human relationship or HR in Parliament. So if all the MPs in my party, except for the Prime Minister, have to ask me for leave to not be at Parliament, and I sign off on budgets and other things like that, it's very interesting, and it's great to work with the Prime Minister to ensure the smooth running of caucus. And obviously I had the opportunity as Chief Whip to do some overseas travel, and particularly highlight for me was going to India to the NXT conference in Delhi. It was a real highlight for me and a great thrill to go there, and I hope to be able to return to India at some time. And how has it been working with Prime Minister Christopher Luxon? Oh, it's been fantastic to work with Prime Minister Christopher Luxon. He has a great relationship with many world leaders, and including the Indian Prime Minister Modi, which he has just recently visited New Zealand. It's a great thrill for us to have him here in New Zealand, a leader of the most populous country in the world, and a country that we have good relations with, particularly sporting relations, and cricket in particular. But working with the Prime Minister is quite different to previous Prime Ministers. His business experience brings a different lens that he approaches it through. but I found that very good to work with, and he's what we would call a straight shooter. He says what he thinks, and he goes through with his intentions all the way, and I really admire that.
Now, on the subject of the PM, what steps have you and the New Zealand government, led by Prime Minister Luxon of the National Party, been taking to fight against climate change?
Well, we supported the net zero legislation, which went through the House when we were in opposition, actually, but we signed up to the Paris Accord as a national government. So we are pursuing that goal. We have recently brought in a policy to support households to put solar panels on the roofs of their houses to enable those families to reduce their power bills as much as anything. But all those things are sensible. We are doing these things as and when we judge it right to lower emissions, but also to not do too much economic harm to New Zealanders. It is a finely balanced exercise, but that's what we're doing. And me personally, I led the climate committee in Parliament, which has a cross-party organisation, and that I had taken over from a Green MP, so I really enjoyed that.
Now, we did discuss this a bit earlier, but how do you view Indian Prime Minister's Narendra Modi recent visit to New Zealand and meeting Prime Minister Christopher Luxon impacting India-New Zealand trade and bilateral ties?
I think that was a huge success, the visit to New Zealand, and it was certainly well received here by New Zealanders in general. The Prime Minister Modi seemed to enjoy himself here, and obviously trade is an important thing for New Zealand as a trading nation, and to build those relationships with other countries, it's not just a financial transaction, it's a transaction of ideas, of having friendships and other cultural ties. We have a significant Indian diaspora here in New Zealand. They're a very valuable part of our communities, and we value that. So for us, that was a significant step forward to have Prime Minister Modi visit here.
And finally, zooming out, how is New Zealand dealing with the global energy crisis and uncertainties that have emerged from the ongoing West Asia war?
Yes, the uncertainties from the war in the Gulf has been quite significant around the world, but we have an agreement with Singapore to supply food in return for them supplying energy by the way of their oil refinery to New Zealand. So we have bolstered our position by making an agreement with a trading partner, and so that's helped us. We are moving quickly to try and reopen oil and gas exploration in New Zealand so that we may have more energy independence here. We also have vibrant wind and solar generation, but that is not a complete answer and never will be for any country. We must have other dispatchable energy sources such as gas and hydro in particular, so that we can secure our electricity supply. So it's like the rest of the world, we're doing the best we can with what we've got.
Thank you so